Hey everyone, welcome back to ALA's Let's Play of Dark Scholar of the First Sin. Today we're just going to be doing a little bit of cleanup in the Forest of Fallen Giants, but first, you'll notice we have a new visitor here in Majula. Let's go talk to this lady.
Oh, you again? Go on, it's on the cheap for you.
You'll remember from the previous video she said she'd have something special for us the next time we met. Don't really need to buy anything from her.
Everyone's so stingy around here. Everyone's so stingy everywhere. You're my only customer. Don't make me beg. Now buy something.
Okay, my bad.
This place Majula. Not too special, if you ask me. It's just the place where everyone seems to end up.
She makes no bones about this place being kind of run down.
Everyone's so...
No. Alright, do I have to buy something from you now? Alright. Sorry, Milbeth. I will buy one life gem. Are you happy now?
Thank you kindly. Don't abandon a poor old woman.
I swear she's supposed to give you something.
We call this place...
Oh, alright. Well, maybe they changed that. I haven't played Scholar of the First Sin in quite a while, so I can't really remember what she gives you. She will give you an item. Like most of the NPCs, she does end up here. It's sort of the only place half these people have to go anyways, so I digress. Let's see. We're gonna go here. Trying a slightly different format for the video today. As I said, just going to be cleaning up a few things. Let's go down here first. Take out a couple of the guards. Hello, sir. Huh. I appear to have some sort of status icon on me. Better check that. Huh. I actually don't remember what that status effect is. I'm gonna have to look that up. Alright. This door, I believe, should open now. This takes us to another part of the area. Not a very good part of the area. Ruined Aphlis. I have never summoned this shade before, so this will be interesting. This is a prime example of one of the differences between the base game and the Scholar of the First Sin edition. Mainly due to the fact that this area is much darker than it was previously. Prior to the game's release, there was a lot of talk by FromSoft. I didn't want to say from FromSoft because that would, be a weird saying. They talked about the darkness mechanic. Couldn't quite get the backstab off on him. And essentially, there would be areas where you'd have to choose to either use a torch or, keep your shield up. Now, obviously, there is a bit of a trade-off with that. Obviously, if you're going to a dark area with enemies, you want a shield. However, not having any light is even worse because then the enemies can get behind you. And there are enemies in this game that can backstab. A lot of people don't know that. We're going to go ahead and use a torch real quick. Huh. Could have sworn I could just pop one of those. No, never mind. There's a bonfire over here we can do after we clear the area. Alright. You can see this is another part of the fort. Essentially, it's just another rundown area of the fort. Not too much to this place. We're gonna go through here real quick just so we can get on the other side. There are enemies above, however, we'll deal with them shortly. Not a huge fan of them. There's only a few items here. Oh wow, the shades can open doors now. I did not know that. That's very new. Hello, sir. Oh. Alright, come on, take a swing at me, buddy. Ah, the Turtle Knights. Bye, sir. Ruined Atlas is apparently a hex user. Hex users, for those of you who don't know, hexes are spells which require both faith and intelligence to cast. Alright, I believe there's a bonfire here. I just have to find it. Hello, good sir. I don't appreciate that. That's not good. Another thing they added to the game are these NPC invasions. They had a few of these in the original version of the game. Now this is definitely not an area you want to get invaded in, because now you have to fight 3 of the Turtle Knights while trying to fend off an NPC invader, which, as you can see, not the easiest thing to do. Fortunately, we've got a helper here. Now, since they're distracted, I'm going to get this fine gentleman to follow me. Oh boy. Thank you, sir. Better get up here and help my shade buddy. I think I can take this guy. Oh, no, this may end up bad. Okay, get out of there. Thank you. That's right. You want to pay attention to me. Thank you, sir. Pop a Radiant Life Gem. These turtle enemies are very annoying. Oh, Atlas. I don't think you're long for this world, buddy. I'm sorry. Wasn't much I could do there. He was just simply outnumbered. We have a pretty good chance of making it out of this alive, though. Come on. Thank you. Ooh. Well, only if I don't screw up like that. Then we have a fairly good chance. Come on. Go ahead. Thank you. Let's finish him off. Alright. Let's go deal with the NPC invader. Now, fortunately for us, the invader AI is not... Whoa! I was going to say isn't very intelligent. However, he's just proved me wrong on that, and he may kill me right now. Yep. Woo-hoo. Yeah. That was very close. We're very lucky he didn't kill me. Alright. Let's see if we can get the drop on him here. Where'd he go? He is a magic user, as opposed to a hex user. Hexes are those spells, as I said, that require both intelligence and faith to cast. The main reason I did not want to fight them up top was because of the treasure chest. If I had, say, accidentally hit that chest in the middle of the fight, I would have ended up destroying the contents of it, which once you've destroyed them, you don't get them back. You can see we have a bonfire here, which we're going to go ahead and light. We don't actually need it, but having another bonfire, just in case, is never a bad thing. So, I'm going to go back this way just for a second. A giant rests in peace. Interesting. Obviously, the giant was a... well, I guess you could say a casualty of the war. Now, I believe there is an enemy up top here. Those 3 Turtle Knights, as I call them, they have an actual name. They're not called Turtle Knights, although that would be cool. I would actually prefer that name. Whoa, that was interesting. The Turtle Knights just hang out up here. I thought there were more of them. I guess not. That's kind of a bummer. As you can see, there's not too much going on here. So we're going to go ahead and drop back down. Now you got to be careful never try to roll or drop near a cliff, because if you drop a certain way, you're going to roll, especially if you jump, which obviously is not going to end very well for you. Alright. We'll light this so if we ever have to come back here for whatever reason, we'll have a nice, wonderfully lit corridor. They actually did a pretty good job on the lighting system of this game. I would say that the graphics are nowhere near as amazing as they could have been based on the E3 trailer we were given before the game came out. However, you know, obviously there are going to be limitations with any graphics engine, so I can't really fault them for that. I mean, you can if you want to. Alright, as you can see, we're back out here. You don't really... Oh, excuse me, sir. My apologies. Alright. Thank you. Alright, we're going to head over to this area next. Huh, I thought you were going to get up. Thank you. Sometimes they have a weird sense of alertness. Sometimes all it takes is, well, I just walked up on them, so they're going to get up. Other times it's, oh, was I supposed to get up? Well, yeah, you're supposed to fight me, sir. Now, we've done pretty much everything we need to do in this area. However, we're going to unlock another area, well, the back way into an area for later. And we're also going to go out here to grab a couple of items. Whoa, hello. I don't remember you being here, but alright. That gentleman over there normally doesn't show up until the palace, specifically Drangleic Castle. Alright, going to use another life gem. I don't believe I have to fight him right now, so I will not. I'll fight you later, good sir. I have no interest. The door he is guarding cannot be opened at this time in the game, so there's essentially zero reason for you to fight him. If you want to fight him, go right ahead. Knock yourself out. Alright. I should go this way, because this is the next area I wish to unlock. Alright. Could light this torch too if we wanted. But I see no reason to do that. Hello, gentlemen. Oh. Yeah, we'll take care of that. Don't trouble yourselves. Now, this area right here is opened with the Soldier's Keep. This would have been the area you fought the Pursuer boss had you not defeated him in the optional area. But, since we've defeated him, essentially all we're going to do here is unlock a shortcut to another area. Not an area we're going to explore today, unfortunately, as it is quite difficult at this stage in our journey. Hello? Oh. Always forget about that. There's also, I believe, an item we can get by dropping down up here. Normally you would have to wait until after the boss fight to accomplish this. As you can see here, this area is uniquely suited to kill the Pursuer. It's a bit cramped, but these trebuchets, I believe they are trebuchets and not ballistas, they fire rapid-fire bolts, and if you have co-op partners, you can have them lure the boss into position and then just annihilate him with that, and it makes him incredibly easy to do. Had we not already beaten him in the optional area, we would have done so here. You know, sort of the backup plan. Alright, gentlemen. Not sure how they hit me there, but alright. Alas, nothing happened. These giant trees will be important later on. They do tie into the story. It seems random, but they do tie in. This is our shortcut, but we're going to double back for a moment and drop down here. And then we're going to drop down here. And I'm curious if they've changed this or not. Oh, no, they did not. They actually added to it. What we just picked up is arguably one of the better weapons in the game. The Drangleic Sword. Great Sword of Drummond, Royal Army Captain. An old and unadorned sword, perhaps but the pride and joy of this venerable captain. An heirloom passed from grandfather to father, and then from father to son, Drummond and those before him used the sword to repel those who would threaten their great land. Obviously, Drummond, very important figure in the Drangleic army. His sword is quite good. We can't wield it right now. I think we lack the stats even if we tried to two-hand it. His armor, his armor. It's just really good. I'm going to equip it really quick, just so you can see it. As you can see, he has some very good armor. Where are your gauntlets, my friend? You can see, however, it is quite heavy. But wearing this, you know, you look like captain of the Drangleic army. Kind of fitting. It does make you wonder what exactly happened to the rest of Drangleic, those who were not afflicted by the curse, after the fall of the kingdom. Obviously, anyone who had been afflicted by the curse would have been, you know, trapped here. Whatever limbo affected the kingdom has also trapped the undead here. Now, it's curious that Drangleic is so isolated from the rest of the world. Now, obviously, there are ways to get in it. Obviously, we're not just cut off completely, but it's interesting to me that it would be so cut off. Was that intentional? Did that happen due to the curse? Is that just what happens to cursed lands, is eventually they are walled off from the rest of the world? Either, whoa, that was my own fault. I assumed I could back roll out of there real quick. Go ahead and take a swing at me, sir. Alright. Roll back. Alright. There is one more area that we need to explore. However, for the life of me... Oh, I remember how to get there. I was going to say, for the life of me, I can't remember how to get there, but I know how to get there now. It's not as confusing as it might seem. It's an area that you have to drop off of, and so I always forget about it. But there's a couple important items there. As I said, we're mainly just doing some cleanup today. There'll be a little bit of lore discussion, some commentary. Obviously, as everyone has come to figure out, the giants, when they fell, turned into these trees. Now, obviously, there are natural trees in the world of Dark Souls. You don't need to have giants to, create trees, although they may serve sort of that function within the Dark Souls universe. Now, the giants were in the first game. However, they were nothing like what we see here. The giants had faces. They weren't just weird-looking, whole-faced monstrosities running around. But it may be that the nature of the giants, along with the nature of many other things in the Dark Souls world, have changed over time. We don't even actually know what the giants' purpose was in coming to Drangleic. It's implied later on that King Vendrick stole something from them. However, whatever he stole, how did he steal it? I mean, these things are monstrous. Of course, he could have come to them under, a banner of peace or something like that. Or, maybe the giants were friendly with Drangleic at first. It's entirely possible. We don't know, unfortunately. Alright. We'll go in there very soon, but we need to clear out this outer area first. Oh. Gotta learn to time these swings a little better. Yeah, I know he's up there. I know. See these stone statues over here. Really? Oh, it's a good thing I have... Whoa, excuse me, sir. It's a good thing I have... repair powder. Even in the Scholar of the First Sin edition of this game, the durability of your items is somewhat lacking. I would almost say they're brittle, which makes sense thematically, I suppose. Obviously, these weapons are ancient. Okay. Well, one way to kill him works just as well as another, I suppose. I'm going to go up here. Clear this out real fast. Any items that I pick up of special significance, I will read, but most of them are obviously not worth reading. Alright. Now we need to go to the cave. Now, if I remember correctly, there is an ambush here. Oh, no, they changed that too. Wow. Whoa! Okay, you're only supposed to do that after I hit you the first time. It was interesting that in the light of the cave, he looked slightly more green than they normally do. I'm not saying they're trying to rip off the Ninja Turtles, but no, they're not doing that. Alright, we're gonna go in here. There used to be an ambush in this area. Switch soldier shield. See, you heard that noise. That used to mean somebody was jumping down to come get you, but that's not the case anymore. In here, again, I have not played Scholar of the First Sin in quite some time. You can see at the end of the tunnel is a creature. They're called fire salamanders. Essentially, they just breathe fire. Kind of hilarious. Now, luckily, you can usually open the door before they get you. Yeah. Thing is, you have to be very wary. Now, if I remember correctly, there should be the first of one of the elemental weapons in here. Ah, and there is. Okay. Don't believe we really need to read the description for it, but yeah, okay. It's the same as the regular longsword. Elemental weapons, the upgrade path for weapons in Dark Souls has always involved elements or magic. Lightning is the element that is traditionally associated with faith, so faith-based weapons rely on, obviously, the faith stat to increase their attack power. Now, unfortunately, faith was sort of nerfed into the ground by FromSoft. Nobody's really sure why. I definitely could not tell you why they did it. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me when they kept every other strong attack type upgrade path in the game, except Faith. I mean, it's still a viable build. You can beat most enemies with it, but in PvP, you just won't win. Honestly, most PvP builds these days I see use hexes. Hexes and magic go hand in hand, so it's a lot easier to use. Well, they don't necessarily go hand in hand, but there are ways to reduce the stat requirements for different spells. And a lot of people will do this to gain access to some of the more annoying hex type spells. Alright. Nullify human effigy's effect. Oh, yeah, that's right. That's something you can do at the bonfires. If you nullify the human effigy's effect, you open yourself up more. Or is it you don't open yourself up more? See, now I'm completely backwards. This is gonna bug me. But essentially, while you're human, it changes the nature of the world state and the PvP. Now the thing is, excuse me? Narrow corridors, not my friend. Alright, we're gonna go back into this area just so we can get to the next one. We will go back to Majula very shortly. It never hurts to do a little bit of cleanup, especially just to clear out an area, because you may want to come back here later. You may find out that an item will now open a path for you within the area that you did not know about before. And there are a couple of secrets here that we still haven't covered, but we can't really do anything about them until we get the proper item. That's much later in the game, obviously. Alright. we're gonna go back through here. I think we'll ignore those two attacking the tree right now. You can see the giants really did a number on this place. Now it's interesting that the statues of the giants are very small. Well, small compared to giant size. But the giant lord was definitely a cut above. Alright, now, you can see here, stepping into the crow's nest, we are then carried off by a giant crow. Crows are interesting in the Dark Souls lore because they're associated with the goddess Velka, and Velka was the goddess of sin. Now that doesn't mean that she, delighted in. You can see that bird doesn't really look like a crow. I don't know what they were thinking on that. You also get to see my derby face. Alright. And we're dropped off here to get a couple of chests as well. We don't want to do this area immediately, mainly due to the fact that the enemies here are too tough for us right at the moment. So we're going to go ahead and open this up. Dull Ember. That's a very good thing to have, but we will need that later. Okay, thank you. An ember radiating a dull light. This flame seems nearly exhausted, but exhibits an eerie resilience. Perhaps this is its ordinary state. That, to me, seems to be some sort of commentary with regards to Dark Souls itself. Specifically, the cycles of light and dark. Later on in the game, we will discover that the cycle repeats itself throughout history, at least the history of the Dark Souls universe. And whenever light is strongest, everything seems to be on the up and up. Kingdoms rise, everything's peaceful, and then at different times, darkness overtakes the land, which causes everything to fall into ruin. Now, you can't really say that good and evil are balanced in there, as the light itself is not necessarily good. It's definitely good for humans and various other creatures. However, the dark isn't necessarily evil. They're just two opposite, not philosophies, but opposite forces within the world itself. And even though the darkness will eventually overcome the light, as was said with the dull ember, exhibits a peculiar resilience. That resilience allows it to come back and be reborn. I guess you might say it's similar to a phoenix or something along those lines, but essentially this weird, I don't even know what you call it, this weird stage play they have going on in this world repeats itself time and time again. And that was sort of the end result of the first game, which we didn't know when we played the first games. No matter what we did, the cycle would go on. It's possible to extend the cycle either way. If, per se, you think that the dark should rule over everything, you can make it so that the dark endures a little longer. Or if you want to continue keeping the flame, you can try to hold on to it, find ways to stop the dark from spreading, or at least slow it down. You'll never be able to stop it. That's sort of what they're hinting at. Yes, ma'am. Excuse me? Alright. I need a little more strength. A little more vitality. Eventually I'm going to use the Drangleic sword. It's just too awesome not to use. Alright. So, we've done everything we need to do here. We could upgrade our weapon again, but there really isn't much point. So now, we're going to move on to the next area. I'm going to try and at least get us to the first bonfire. But I don't think we're going to finish this area today. It would just take too long. Most of the areas have one or two bosses. You obviously saw the Forest of the Fallen Giants had two bosses, the Pursuer and the Last Giant. In this area, which we're going to get to, we have to sort of take a roundabout way to get down there. Again, the geometry of this game versus the first game doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. At one point, they have you ride an elevator up from a poison swamp and somehow end up in a volcano, although there was no hint of the volcano, from down below. But I digress. Run over here, pull this little lever. This was more than likely just a network of canals that brought water through into Majula. We saw Majula had a well, so it's possible it was once connected to it. Although what the water's flowing through from over there, I don't know. Alright, so nothing over there. Let's see. Oh, that was stupid. Soul of the Lost Undead and a Broken Thief's Sword. Broken Thief's Sword is kind of it's one of my favorite weapons from a design standpoint because it's essentially a dagger that used to be a sword. Yeah. A broken straight sword handled as a dagger due to its length. Yeah. And it's kind of cool to wield it, because you're essentially wielding a half sword. But other than that, it's not much to it. It's good for builds that try to use two weapons. You can see this fellow right here. He's just chilling out. He's not bothering us. So we want to leave him alone. This is Heide's Tower of Flame. Now, the actual Tower of Flame is over there, alright, which is where one of the bosses, the Dragon Rider, is. Over that way is the Chapel of the Blue, and that's where the old Dragon Slayer boss resides. So we're going to go ahead and fight this big guy. I really don't like these guys. They hit like a Mack truck, and they usually come in pairs. But fortunately for us, today they are not. So we're going to go ahead and light the bonfire. We won't rest at it quite yet. You know what? Let's see who's here to summon. Well, why not? It's probably going to tell me I can't summon them. That might help me get to the Dragon Slayer boss quicker. Maybe I do have time to finish him off. Now, this is definitely a sort of dilapidated ruin, even more so than Majula. Now, you can actually see another part of the map from here. That's one of the nice things about Dark Souls. However, you can't see it necessarily that well. Excuse me, sir, I'm going to run away from you because I don't want to fight you like that. Never try to fight those guys on narrow platforms. They will kick the crap out of you. Alright. Heide Knight Chainmail. Oh, well that's very interesting. Heide Knight Chainmail. Chainmail worn by Heide Knights. Whether Heide refers to a kingdom or was just a name for the land is not clear, for no records date back far enough to tell. All that is known is the Way of Blue has its origins in Heide, and that Heide was later subsumed by the sea. Subsumed means it was essentially swallowed up. Alright. Now, we're going to trip up this fellow again. Excuse me, sir. They're very easy to backstab, so that's why it's not so hard to fight them when you have a co-op partner. And I've decided that this fellow shall be named the Green Adventurer, because I don't really know what the ADV stands for. Heide Knight Sword. Heide Knight Sword, which I'll show you in a second after we deal with this guy. I really hate the hammer ones. They were much worse in the base game because they had no set attack pattern and were just too fast to deal with. I'm gonna grab this. So, oh, sorry. Now, I'm not a super skilled player, so don't expect me to... oh, that's interesting. There we go. So don't expect me to, have all the best strategies on beating the bosses. I generally just go with whatever works. Now, it's very important that you pull those levers because it helps you in the fight against the boss. The boss is on a platform that is normally retracted. You can see these circular platforms are all over the place. Whoa, okay, I don't know why I couldn't hit you, but alright. And the ones for the boss room retract. which can result in you rolling to your death because you don't have enough room to get away from the boss. Now, once you pull all of these, you don't have much to worry about. The boss will essentially just be stuck there. Well, not stuck, but you'll have more than enough room to engage him. Alright, let's see if I can get my new friend to go this way, because I really don't want to go fight the Dragon Rider first. I would prefer to fight the old Dragon Slayer. Alright, so we have another... Oh! That's the first time I've seen one of those actually get up. They normally do not engage you unless they have to. Hold on, buddy. Hold on. Oh, boy. Oh, no. Get out of there, buddy. Get out of there. Oh, you are in trouble. But I saved you. Oh, no. Get out of there. Get out of there. Thank you, buddy. We're going to go ahead and heal up real quick. Huh. Never seen one of them take that long to get back up. The Heide Knights are one of the tougher enemies in the game, unfortunately. And for some reason, they decided that there just needed to be a ton of them over here. Now, this part, I do not like. You have to fight a dragon. Okay, maybe we'll leave you alone for right now. We'll come back to you later, Mr. Dragon. We're gonna go fight the Dragon Rider. For some reason, the dragon is guarding the old Dragon Slayer. That's another change they made for the Scholar of the First Sin edition. It used to be you could just run up there and take that guy out. Now, let's go ahead and deal with this fellow. Okay, roll away. Now, me personally, I wish that they had kept these enemies in their original locations. It was more interesting that way. You would encounter several different kinds in different areas. And they would have different weapons. Unfortunately, for some reason, they've decided that it's better to have them just all over the place. Oh, hello. Thank you. Good summoning etiquette. Never make your summon do all the work. It's just mean. You know, he's there to help you. You don't need to have him do everything. Stay alive, of course, because you don't want him to fail. Oh, that guy. Just about had me there. Alright. I'm gonna go grab this chest real quick. I don't believe there's anything in here of particular importance, however. It can't hurt to grab it. The Ring of Binding, not really important. We'll read that description later, as I am short on time. If I remember correctly, Masterless Glencore. I don't need you. I don't need you, sir. But we will go ahead and fight the old Dragon Rider. Or, I'm sorry, he's just called the Dragon Rider, I believe. Yep. Now, he may be old. That's certainly up for debate. He's probably been here a while. Whoa! Okay, I did not time that roll correctly. Excuse me, sir. I don't know why you're so angry. Alright. Now, there will be times you have to let your summon do a lot of the work. Oh, man, I keep forgetting you have that crazy range. You are really good at your job. That's to be expected from a halberd class weapon. Has an incredible range. However, you can see we do quite a bit of damage to him. Alright, there we go. Unfortunately... Oh, there we go. It's nice to have someone along to help you, because you're able to take them out quite quickly. Thank you, sir. I applaud your efforts. Now, as you can see, Heide's tower was subsumed by the flame. So we know this, at the very least, was the center of some organization. Perhaps Heide was an order of knights, not necessarily a kingdom in of itself. I'm going to light the bonfire here. before we end the video for today, because I am unfortunately a little short on time. I do have somewhere to be, but I wanted to try to squeeze in another video for today. I'm going to talk to this woman right here.
My name is Lizzie. I have come to spread the art of miracles, a practice of which I am a disciple. I can see that you are well suited to comprehend their wondrous power. But the cost of it, that's for your heart to decide.
I'm not sure why she says that. It just seems weird. You can see she's the first one to sell miracles to us. Now, we are not going to use many of them. I may pick up heal later on. It's nice to have. But she does have a couple of miracles that have some lore significance. The lightning spear in particular, a miracle that launches a spear of lightning, said to be the legacy of an ancient clan whose leader was revered as the god of sun. The name of the clan has been lost to time, but the gross incandescence of our magnificent father shall never wane. That's actually a reference to one of the NPCs from Dark Souls 1, who was named Solaire. Solaire was a member of the Warriors of Sunlight, who are actually a covenant in this game as well. However, they've been lost to time, so you end up being the only member. There's no NPC to guide you. Solaire had a bit of a fixation on the sun. I don't really know why. It's speculated that he may have had a larger role to play in the game, but essentially he was just a guy who helped you out throughout the game. There's lore speculation on him, but we'll get into that another time. But when he talked about the sun, he would always wish that he could be as grossly incandescent as the sun. And he referred to the sun as a magnificent father. So that's a bit of a nod to him.
I'd help this place. I'm afraid they were all true. The king, gone. The earth, ravaged. The burden on the people weighs heavy. I fear that, by now, they may have scarce room in their hearts for miracles. Why did I come here? Well, do I need any other reason than to spread the gospel of miracles?
Yes.
My preceptor always said this art should be shared with the world. And such is my only wish.
Uh-huh.
Sometimes I fight the urge to pack up and go back home. It is... well, I must do this. And being out here all alone only makes this a more fitting test of my fortitude. I expected this cathedral to be bustling, but there's hardly a soul to be found here. Without any goings-on, I'll have to move soon. To a place I could help the gullible by teaching the good word.
Excuse me? That's a hint that she's not exactly on the up and up. Lycia, she comes from the land of Lindelt, and Lindelt has a priesthood, which we will discover later. However, she's not exactly on the up and up. Yeah, well, we're going to leave you alone.
No need for miracles. The gods frown upon such soul scrimpers.
That's great. We'll talk to her again. Alright. The architecture of this area, this is not necessarily lore related, as we don't know if this is true or not. But the architecture of this place is very similar to Anor Londo, the city of the gods from the first Dark Souls game. It's been speculated that the ruins of Lordran eventually became Drangleic, but we don't know that. And it's also possible that the continents and the land masses of the world have shifted so many times that maybe this did used to be Lordran. We're just not 100% sure. I'm going to go ahead and check out that Heide Knight chainmail again. That's much lighter than what I'm using, but it still has the same defense. You can see it's a more scrappy looking armor, but I kind of like it. It's a bit more rustic, but it looks pretty cool. Alright, folks, that's gonna do it for today. I'm gonna go ahead and leave you here, and I hope you all have a good day, and as always, like if you like this video, like and subscribe if you like the video, obviously, and leave a comment if you have any criticisms or any kind of questions. And I will see you all in the next video. Later, guys.